This is the Kindy Rockstars Podcast, Season 5. Bringing you incredibly talented singers, artists, creators, and producers in the genre of children's music. I'm your host, Patrick Adams. Each episode will feature songs, albums, videos, or live performances, along with great stories from the artists themselves. Kindy Rockstars Season 5 is proud to be supported and sponsored by Waltmania Public Relations, serving the family entertainment community for more than 20 years. And now, on with the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Kindy Rockstars. Joining me from Australia, a return guest to the show and good friend, Van Sereno. Welcome back.
G'day. An honor to be here again. Thanks, Patrick.
Absolutely. And Van is here today to talk about his new album called Fables. But before we get into that, let's talk about what you've been up to since we last had you on the show last season.
Thanks for asking. I have been working on videos for my YouTube channel. It's just been doing that. Because I knew when I released Aussie Animals last year, I knew that Fables needed it. And I learned so much doing the video clips for Aussie Animals that I wanted to take what I learned and go the next step for the Fables project. So even though it was Christmas time, I decided to knuckle down and do some work prepping for the actual release of Fables. So yeah, it's all really about Fables, but videos. Because by that stage I'd already done the recording. It was just a matter of it was just a matter of getting the videos up to scratch, because I didn't want to make a release without any kind of visual backing for it. If you know what I mean.
It's so important. I have to date made music videos for almost every one of my songs. And they're not always high budget, but I'm like you. I think having a visual with a song is really great, and just gives people another way to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think I learned. I asked myself when I was doing grown-up music, why haven't I made any traction? I think it's because of the lack of video clips. Because in this day and age, it's a must. As an artist, you kind of need a visual thing to help express the song. Otherwise, it's just a song. It's just audio, and a lot of us are visual people. A lot of us think that way. Our brains are wired that way. So that's when I switched genres from grown up to children's. I'm like, okay, I'll make sure that every song has a video, an official music video clip. And like you, it doesn't matter that it's not perfect. It doesn't matter that it's low budget, just as long as there's something there. I mean, something, even if it looks like a cheap little video off a cam, who cares? Like, at least there's something.
Or even lyric videos. Yeah, I've gotten into
Yeah, absolutely.
to doing those every so often. Because there's literally so many tools out there for us artists to use.
Yeah. I've been looking at your TikToks, man. You're really advanced you're using AI. Like you're doing a lot of clever animations and like stuff that I'm thinking, how did he do that? I'm looking at like, how does he? It's like back Rage. You're doing some real psychedelic stuff. So good on you.
Yeah, no, I don't lean into AI for everything, but every so often, it just fits a song, and it's what I found with AI and making music videos with them is that you've got to make sure that it just doesn't. It's not 4 minutes of like the same AI image. It's like you've got to really work it so it changes and it's interesting, and it kind of keeps people. Yeah, and that,
I hear you, bro.
Because I've had a few music videos where I used AI for it, and I did like one storyboard. I created the description and say, here goes, and it was kind of the same image, just slightly morphing throughout the song, and like, okay, no, that's not going to work. That's boring. So I find that the more you can like change it as the video progresses, and like every 15, 20 seconds, something new pops up.
Yeah, like a new image, and then within that image is morphing too, right? I
Exactly.
noticed. I remember watching one of your latest video clips. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah.
Because
And
you're completely in control of what it's saying. It's your description, at least with the software that I use, or the website that I use. They
yeah, you're guiding it where to go.
you describe the scene and it's just gonna do what you describe. So
Yeah, and if you
um
don't like that iteration, you could just go again, press the button, and you could, right? Is that how
exactly.
your program works? Yeah, and you just pick and choose out of the however many attempts you've pressed that button. Oh, that'll do. That'll take the final cut. Yeah.
But yeah, with that, I like doing the videos myself and reaching out to other people who, I've noticed have a specific style or something. So like the video for Too Much Time on My Hands, I actually found an artist and he had like this really interesting and unique style about his videos. So I went back and forth with him. I was like, hey, you think you could do this? And it's like following the life of a rock star. And
Yeah.
but when the rock star is not singing, like what's he doing? And that the kind of playing into the theme of Too Much Time on My Hands.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the storyboard that I pitched to him, and he took it and created something really fun. So um,
Cool.
there will I would never ever want to see genuine artists replaced by AI. AI for me is a just a once every so often kind of tool. But if you have a song, if you have an album with 15 songs, you know, every so often that gets a bit tedious, and especially if you want to make something for all of your songs, then the
Yeah.
AI tool is a good thing to blend in with other
Yeah.
animators and yourself.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I have a graphic designer friend, and I asked him, like, how do you feel of the threat of AI? And he's really worried. He's like, he's scared because he reckons he's going to lose his job in a few years' time. But I told him, don't worry, man. Like, no one can replace you. You are you, and a robot can't replicate the kind of artwork that, because this guy's brilliant. Like he did
Yeah,
I'm talking about Chris Muscat, who did the album cover for Aussie Animals. So yeah, and what I'm finding when I did a search on YouTube, for example, you type in um, "The Boy Who Cried Wolf," and you'll see a lot of AI. You could tell that this video is AI generated. This video, they've got that same AI generated look. It's that the robots aren't there yet. Like you could tell it was
yeah.
AI generated. You know
It's
they,
kind of it's kind of unmistakable.
yeah,
It's definitely
yeah,
not perfect.
yeah. And you look at the stats; those don't do many views. The AI generated ones, it's the ones that you could tell they did some work. Like it looks there's cartoony stuff there. It's animated, and they've and you could tell it wasn't done by an AI. And those are the ones that gets the views.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
I think it could be nice as like a visualizer that is the background for a lyric video. So that's kind of where I've went with it. Like I want to do a lyric video for it, and people might pay attention, especially like kids watching it. They might be
yeah,
paying more attention to the words than the scenery, but I always make sure that the scenery is colorful and interesting, and kind of go
yeah.
from there.
I think the special sauce is, you said it. It's colorful. As long as it's colorful. So when I hear colorful, I think bright and happy and joyous and spring colors. Uh, because then it catches the eye of the children. It really just comes out at you when you open the homepage on YouTube. I think that's what. Don't you, do you agree?
Definitely, and things that color, I automatically, just gravitate to where it comes to the video. It's just something bright, catchy, fun, uh,
Yeah,
things like that. So that's the type of stuff I look for because that's usually the theme of most of my songs. Just upbeat, fun, and I like to have the visuals to go along with it.
yeah, yeah. I
And so,
mean, I
and
love.
so I
Sorry, what were you going to say?
was about to say, did you do videos already for all your songs,
Wow, it's been
or
a wonderful and busy last 2, 3 months, but I just posted, out of how many songs I've got? I don't know, 12. I did 11 and I've got one left. And I've decided I'm not doing the last one. I've decided to hire my good friend Benny Time because I like his style. He's got this mixed media kind of cut and paste look that I love. Like I hired him for Let's Water the Garden and Daddy Day and he did wonders on that video clip. And I thought, can you do me a similar style, but do it for this song? You know, it's gonna be for a Fable. And he's like, he said, send me the song. So I sent him the song and he wrote back straight away, I'm in. So I'm happy that he's doing it because, and even though it'll look different, it'll be like, oh, that sticks out like a sore thumb because all my 11 look the same. They've got the style down pat.
Right.
But then you got Benny's style, which really is completely different to my style. It doesn't matter because I like having one that's special, that sticks out. I don't mind tall poppy syndrome. It's okay, you know, because the last video, Daddy Day, that stuck out, and Let's Water the Garden, that stuck out from from that, you know, from the others. It's okay to have one weird one. Yeah, I can't wait to because he's working. He's sending me some roughs at the moment, and whatever he's sending, I'm loving what he's sending me. So it's not even halfway finished at the moment right now as we talk right now, but it'll be finished probably in about 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, so I can't wait to see what he comes up with. But I'm happy with what I have done so far with the work that yeah, it was challenging, but I'm glad I went through it. Like I said, had I not done the Aussie Animals prep for it in that way, I wouldn't have been able to do this batch of video clips.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I can like I fully celebrated when I finished the last one a few weeks ago. I was like, let's go to the restaurant and I'll
There you
be
go.
myself and I'll break out a drink because it was especially particularly the last one because the birds, the beast, and the bat that was the last one, and there was many characters. There was Team Bird and then Team Beasts, and you know the lion was a bit of a challenge, and the powerful owl was very hard to do because of his feathers. And then there was the Eastern Rosella that was a bit challenging because there was many different colors. So every animal, every character had a different challenge within itself. And then you had to put the group together in a team. And then you had to fight one team versus the other fight. And then I'm like, well, how are you going to make them fight? YouTube's going to freaking cancel me because you can't do violence on camera. You're not allowed to
Hmm.
show violence. So I'm looking, how did the others do it? So I was looking what the other successful YouTubers out there did when they tackled Birds of the Beast and the Bat. And a lot of them had birds flying in the air and throwing stones while the beasts were on the floor throwing stones back at them. And it was just this weird kind of flying birds, beasts at the bottom. And to me, it wasn't fighting. It was like they're throwing rocks at each other and no
Hmm.
one's getting hurt. So how can I thought, well, how am I going to convey that there's a fight, there's battles, martial arts. Hey, I'm Asian. I did kung fu. I did karate. So let's go. Because no one in my research had done animals going martial arts at each other.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll take that. I'll be the guy. So, but then I'm like, oh, YouTube could still cancel me because that's violent. Like bashing the other person up. So I said, oh, let's make sure that they don't actually make contact. So then
Yeah,
it's like they're it's perceived fight, but it's not an actual fight. It's like they're sparring, but it's training sparring, but without contact. It's like, yeah, you get me?
I gotcha.
So I think I was able to convey the war, but in a peaceful, like in a subtle war.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the way. If you watch the video of that, it ended up that being looking like that. But still, in the complexity of putting it all together, I did miss one detail, and I posted the thing. I only saw the error after posting, and I thought, oh, should I take the video down and put rectify the problem and post the new video up? And I thought by that stage, I'd already received a few hundred views, and I'm like, nah, it's not worth it. Just leave it. Who cares
Yeah.
if it's not perfect? Like, yeah, one of the animals, um, the eyebrows changes color in between things, and I'm like, oh, people are gonna notice. I'm like, who cares? It's just eyebrows. They're not gonna care in the general picture of it. It's doesn't the gist of the thing is working, and yeah, the composition's right, and it's just who knows? Maybe it'll be a fun little exercise. Oh, can you spot the error?
It's an Easter egg or something. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, like that. Like just leave it. I was talking to my
or
yeah,
or
my friends.
maybe it was meant to happen.
Yeah, I think as an artist, we can be too perfectionist about our art, to the point that it can get in the way of producing. Like you could get so tied up. Oh, this song's not good enough. Let's do another take. Let's do another mix. Let's do another master. And it's 6 months have gone by. You're still sitting on it. Like just just for me, near enough is good enough. Get it out there, because
Yeah.
6 months later, just do another song, and then because like it's better to do show me an album of 12 songs in 12 months rather than one song that's perfect that took you 6 months to perfect, and after reiterate you've wasted like what $2,000 in production and mixing and mastering. Sure, it's perfect, but man, in that time you could have just give me 12 imperfect songs rather than one perfect song, I reckon.
Yeah. I've had this conversation with others too. And um, when it comes down to like the final mix that you're happy with, and
Mm.
um, you get to a point, but oh, wait a minute, maybe I can do this, but then it mucks something else up, and then you're 5 edits down the road, and then you just decide, you know what, that original edit is the one that I liked, so I'm gonna go with that.
I hear
So
you. I
that's
hear
that's
man.
that, that's the bar I set when I'm listening to it and I like it, and I think it sounds decent. I don't tend to muck with it anymore, because you do so much to get it to a point where you listen to it and like it. Um, it's like,
Mm.
might not like it if I keep tweaking it.
That's the main thing. As long as you like it, like it doesn't matter who else, as long as you're very happy with the final project, then release it to the world.
Yeah, no, it's it's
Yeah, you
it's your
reckon?
it's your song, baby. So
Yeah,
you're the only one that gets to hear it.
yeah.
Speaking of which, let's get into your new album, Fables. Loved Aussie Animals. That's what you talked about in the last show. So, uh, tell us a
Yeah,
little bit
thanks,
about what
man.
went into making this album. How did you come up with it conceptually, and then piece it all together?
Thank you for asking. 4 years ago, I did a song. I made up a song called "The Frog and the Scorpion," and I remember I first came across that story watching a movie, The Crying Game, starring Forrest Whitaker. It's a very old movie, but that story was narrated by the characters in the movie, and it stuck. And then I forgot about the story. Many years later, I came across it again from watching a Jim Rohn motivational speech. Like he used that story uh to reiterate a point that he was trying to make. So then when it came to doing Hush, my first children's album, that song was a standout for me, like one of my best works. And I had so much fun creating it. And I thought I had so much fun. What if I could try and do another fable, like a different story? Because the challenge of taking a story and putting it in verse chorus modes was so fun. So I said, okay, let's pick one, and I did, and that was finished. And I'm like, okay, let's try another one, and that was, I just got inspired, and I thought, okay, which of all the fables are you most happy with? So let's pick 10, and I finished the 10, and I'm like, let's do another couple. It was just addictive is the word. Yeah, and it was fun. There were certain ones that I didn't even know of that are like, oh, I haven't come across this story yet. Let's do a bit more research and see how. And I found there were other some fables were popular and had heaps to draw upon, like draw inspiration from, and other fables were not popular, and I had to come up with my own conclusions from my research. Like, okay, well, what's my version going to be? And in that, it was, I'd say, out of all my albums, this was the most fun trying to write songs for. Yeah,
Yeah, and it looks like you've got like
sticking to the
a
canon law.
yeah, you've got what seems to be like a cast of characters, some of which recur, it looks like in the songs. Not really sure. Just looking at the song titles, and I listened to the ones we're going to feature. But you got like a mouse character, you got a lion character. Are these like the same thread or these different fables that you're drawing the stories from?
There's no right or wrong. I think it could be the same mouse and it could be the same lion or it could be the same fox. But I'm judging, excuse me, I'm judging these things on the merit of the story in itself. It doesn't matter that it's the same mouse, or it doesn't matter that it's not the same.
Gotcha.
So it just so happened though, when I made the video clip, out of laziness, I thought, let's get the same puppet. Let's use the same
Yeah.
character. Because I didn't want to design, it'll take another couple of days to design a new mouse. Like there's already a pink mouse there. Let's just use him, you know? Even with it, yeah, same with the fox. I'm like, oh, let me change the color. I think I did. I ended up changing slightly the color of this just to vary that fable up. It's not exactly the same puppet, but generally, yeah, it's cool. Like I want the viewer or the listener to listen on just the song, like as on its own, like
Right.
really, because they are different to each other. Like the hare and the tortoise is completely different to the fox and the grapes. Yeah, for example.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into some of your songs. We're gonna feature five here today, and we'll kick it off with City Mouse, Country Mouse. So tell us about this song. And I understand it features a couple of special guest vocalists.
Yeah, with that one, I knew the story was so long and so complicated. It couldn't be a normal pop song. It had to be a rap. It for sure because of the length and the detail of what was going on in the story. So, and with the rap, it was a it had to be funky. And I thought, okay, how are we gonna? A rap is very monotone and very repetitive. And I thought, how are we gonna break it up? That's when I thought I got to use my daughters for this one because to have a kid's voice in there will really break up the monotony of that baritone or tenor sounding voice man, me going da 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 da. It'd be good to have this kid coming in.
Yep.
Da 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 da. It's like, we refreshing to hear. Yeah. So checking the that was very inspired by Don Daly's book, Aesop's Fables. It's a book. Let me show it to you. Like I know you can't, the listeners, podcast listeners can't see it
He
over
is
on a Zoom
showing
call.
the book Aesop's Fables.
Illustrated by Don Daly. Now, this book was lying in my parents' library. So when I decided to make the next album, I went to my parents' house. I said, Mom, can I borrow this book? And she goes, you can have it. I'm not using that. So she gave it to me, and it formed the basis of the main inspirations to me reading the whole book. And I chose to base my songs on roughly these these stories within this book, but I couldn't copy it word for word verbatim, like because I didn't want to be sued by Don
Sure.
Daly. So I had to. So to cover me, I changed some details. So that's why my versions is not exactly from the original Aesop's versions. But the great thing is it's on public domain. It is free.
Yeah.
So if anyone out there who is a children's artist that wants to do their own, go for it. Like I'm not going to sue you. Like it's public domain. But I'm
Inspired
telling you,
by.
yeah. But I'm telling you, it is. After doing it, it is a damn challenge to respect the canon, to stick to the story, and actually make it fit within your boundaries that you've set. Like my melody and my vibe and my beat and my BPM. It was definitely challenging. If you could see my notes in my journal, it was a fun journey to get to where the final product. But yeah, here we are, and I'm happy to show that. But I mean, even in my research, like City Mouse, Country Mouse, the morals differed. Like for example, the Library of Congress writes, "What is the moral behind City Mouse, Country Mouse? Poverty with security is better than plenty in the midst of fear and uncertainty." And then like, what? So you go to the fablecottage.com and they say the moral behind that story is sometimes other people's lives are not as great as they make you believe. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I decided not to use either of them, and I came up with my own version. I said, whatever I said, it's there. I've forgotten what I've said. Um,
Yeah. Well, we are going to play it now so everybody can see what you've done with the story. And this is a fun song. I like it. Here it is, City Mouse, Country Mouse by Van Sereno.
City Mouse went to visit his cousin in the countryside. Although it was a long train ride, he didn't mind. There were stars in the sky in the middle of the night. But then came dawn, the train pulled up at the station. The country mouse on the platform waiting. "Welcome, cousin," the country mouse said. "That's a nice neon backpack there. My farm's not too far away. I'm living in a home next to a stack of hay under a tree. Come, let's hurry now before the inspector with the broom shouts, 'Mouse!'" And sure enough, the farm was near. Just a couple of paddocks and you're here. On a quick tour, first a chicken coop, saw the duck pond, pig pen, horse barn too, then a pasture, dairy cows. But he didn't see the big farmhouse. Last but not least, the veggie patch, dug up a sweet potato just like that. And then the country mouse said, "Let's go home. Time to eat lunch, my style, homegrown." And there at this table they sat, peas and corn. That's that. Oh, and I forgot the sweet potato too. And there was also fresh milk. The city mouse then complained, "Is this what you eat day by day?" City mouse just wasn't impressed. "You should come with me to the city, yes. 'Cause in the city I eat fine food. There's a lot around, I'm not lying to you. Come on, I'm going home, come with me. You're gonna like my city, you'll see." City mouse thinks his place is better. Country mouse thinks his place is better. City mouse, country mouse. All excited, the country mice packed up. And in no time, both mice rocked up. They're back at the station on the next train, bound for the city where the city mouse heads came. Meantime, reminisced about the old days. Country mouse is in for a shock, hey, of the hustle and bustle of the big smoke. Skyscrapers, buildings, giant office folk. No, the crowds aren't much of a bother. Even in peak hour, don't worry, brother. Human giants are too engrossed, staring at something that they're holding. Who knows? Either way, they don't notice the mice as they scurry the streets, past traffic lights, after block and block, cars roaring, buses, trucks, and motorcycles roaring. Hear an ambulance ringing round, tires spinning and beat horn sound. The mice find a dumpster near a cafe, but a stray cat scares them both away. And when they finally reach City Mouse's home, humans are throwing a party. Yo! There's a table of pizza, cheese, and garlic bread. Wow, what a spread. Further down, the spaghetti, chips, and cake. The mice couldn't wait. Up the table they climbed up to the top, all clear. Hey, what's up? I wonder where those humans all went, you know. 'Cause it's not like them. Must be somebody's birthday, and they're probably coming back soon. So hurry, hey! City mouse told the country mouse eat. But then they heard footsteps and the door creak. Growl came a dog running at full speed. Mice skipped a beat and in no time leap down to the floor. Lucky they found a hole in the wall. Dog couldn't reach them. No, that's it. Country Mouse's heart is beating so fast, so scared. He's leaving. He didn't even say goodbye. City Mouse watched him leave, wondering why. City Mouse thinks his place is better. Country Mouse thinks his place is better. City Mouse thinks his place is better. Country Mouse thinks his place is better. City Mouse, Country Mouse. City Mouse, Country Mouse. City Mouse, Country Mouse.
And that was City Mouse, Country Mouse. The next song we're going to talk about is called The Lion and the Mouse. Tell us about this one.
The Lion and the Mouse is a story of this mouse that accidentally wakes up a sleeping lion. And obviously the lion, having been rudely woken up, wants to eat the mouse. And the mouse pleads to him, "Hey, please don't eat me. Please let me go. Who knows? Maybe I can be a friend and help you out." And he's laughing and he's amused by him. And that amusement is enough to let him go. Okay, just go. And then shortly soon after, that lion gets in trouble is caught in a net, in a hunter's net. And the mouse hears the cries of the lion and comes up and decides to rescue him, gnaws on the ropes and frees the lion, and they become friends. So I think, to me, the moral of the story is, like we've got, a kindness is never wasted. So yeah, definitely, it's just simple. Just be kind. So it's pretty simple. But
That is as simple as you can get.
simple as you can get. It was really fun doing the video for that one.
Yeah.
Challenging to do the net bit. Like, if you watch the video, the net is very dodgy. It more looks like a cage rather than but I gave up. I'm like, whatever. You get the gist. You get yeah, it'll do.
Very good. All right, well, let's check out the song. Here it is, The Lion and the Mouse by Van Sereno.
A lion was sleeping under a tree. A mouse crept and woke him accidentally. The lion caught the mouse right under his paw. The mouse trembled as the lion roared. The lion told the mouse, "I'll eat you now." The mouse cried, "Sir, please hear me out. Spare me and let me run away. I'll return the favor one day." Ha ha, the lion laughed at mouse, at such a silly thought, no doubt. Amused, he let the mouse run home. The lion went back to sleep alone. The lion and the mouse, the lion and the mouse, the lion and the mouse, the lion and the mouse. Days and days and weeks went by. One day the jungle heard the lion cry. The mouse recognized the lion's voice, dropped everything and rushed to the noise. Found poor lion trapped in a net, hung on a tree and high you bet. "Don't worry, lion, my friend," said mouse. "Remember me, I'll help you out." The mouse climbed right up on the branch where the dangling net did hang. Started gnawing on the rope. Yes, thanks to mouse's teeth it broke. The lion and the mouse, the lion and the mouse, the lion and the mouse, the lion and the mouse. And the lion fell to the ground. The mouse then turned and scurried down. The lion stood up and out of the ropes. If there was no mouse, there'd be no hope. With gratitude, lion thanked the mouse. Such a clever thinker and hero now. The lion said, "Friend, you saved the day." Mouse smiled, more like a chance repaid. Who'd have thought that way back when the lion and mouse would become best friends? Next time kindness comes your way, pay it forward, don't hesitate. The lion and the mouse, 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 the lion and the mouse.
And that was The Lion and the Mouse. All right, the next Fable-inspired song is called The Frog, the Mouse, and the Hawk. So talk about this one.
Well, that one hopefully teaches kids to not to harm others. So, I mean, I found a website, and the website said that the moral of that story is those who seek to harm others often come to harm themselves through their own deceit. And I pretty
Karma.
much exactly. Karma. So I use the word karma in my when I recorded, when I told my kids to comment, I used them to comment uh, as an outro of every Fable song, and that one, yeah, that one sticks out. It's a good story. I mean, on the internet, it's known. It's just called The Frog and the Mouse, but I think the hawk plays an important part, so I decided to call it The Frog, the Mouse, and the Hawk. When really, it's just the frog and the mouse. But either way, the hawk teaches the frog a lesson. I mean, the poor mouse dies. It's really a sad story. The mouse dies. Um, Really, it's murder because the frog intended to kill him and did successfully kill him.
Mhm.
But then the hawk is like, "I'll get you for you shouldn't have killed that mouse. I'll eat you both." And so good on. It's sad that the frog died, and it's sad that the mouse died, but good for the hawk. The hawk, the hawk gets an extra bonus, a feast. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's check this one out. Here is The Frog, the Mouse, and the Hawk by Van Sereno.
A mouse ran the bank of a pond. A frog saw the mouse run along. Frog swam to mouse with a wicked plan somehow. "Hey mouse," said the frog, "come visit my house. If you come and play at mine." Frog said, "I promise a good time." The mouse, without much thought, was keen for fun of all sorts, but he'd need help swimming across for shore. Frog said, "I've got an idea. Since you're not a strong swimmer, here's a string to tie at your foot. The other end's tied to mine. Look, just in case you slip off my back and don't stay put." The frog, the mouse, and the hawk. 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 The mouse thought he'd made a good new friend. Smiling, he grabbed the string's end, knotted the string tight across the pond in sight, jumped on the back of the frog with all of his might. The frog started paddling on his way. The extra weight on his back was okay. But suddenly he dove, diving deep to the bottom, you know, dragging the mouse down, sadly flailing woes. The mouse drowned and floated to the top. A hawk spotted the mouse, but the frog not. The hawk took the mouse, the frog still tied down. The hawk ate them both for lunch now. The frog, the mouse, and the hawk. The frog, the mouse, and the hawk. The frog, the mouse, and the hawk. The frog, the mouse, and the hawk.
And that was The Frog, the Mouse, and the Hawk. And we'll move on now to The Grasshopper and the Ants. So tell us about this one.
The Library of Congress says the moral behind this story is there is time for work and there is a time for play. Yeah, and I agree. I liked it, but I didn't use that statement. I think another thing I found was on study.com. It says the moral of the story is that people should strike a balance between work and play if they want to be prepared for the future. Another moral of this fable is that teamwork helps everyone to succeed. I agree, but I decided not to use that statement too. I just said, yeah, I said whatever what was said. Like every outro is read out by my daughter. Not my daughters, sorry. And I'm happy with what they recorded. What I scripted it out, and yeah, this story, Grasshopper, that really, I love it because if you don't plan, then if you fail to plan, then you are planning to fail. That's basically what I get from this
Yeah.
fable.
I think a lot of people are familiar with that or have heard that at some point
Yeah.
in a motivational speech or um, like me as a project manager, I've heard that over and over
Mm.
at my various jobs. I think plan the work and work the plan. That's
Amen. Amen to that. That's why I love fables because it's pedagogical. Is that's the word I think. It's really hits home when you hear these stories. Okay, they're animals, but they're animals that have human behavior and that teaches us how to live life. So it's educational. It's very good advice. It prepares you for life, but in song form, it's even better because it's fun, it's catchy, and you could dance to it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I think you said it well right there. It's a story of life, but something told in a way that kids can understand and get the lesson that's being conveyed.
Thank you, Patrick. You said it better than I did.
All right, well, we're gonna play it now. Here it is, "The Grasshopper and the Ants" by Sereno.
Yo.
One summer's day, a grasshopper came, chewing on a blade of grass and playing. He spotted one long line of ants marching fine, carrying some grains of wheat away. "Hey, ant," he asked, "what are you doing with that?" The ants replied, "Winter's coming our way. We're storing all this food, I think you should too. The snow and ice will starve you come what may." The grasshopper and the ants, the grasshopper and the ants. Autumn came around, the leaves turning brown. Grasshopper noticed the ants again, like soldiers in a drill, carrying corn until they reached home and stored them in the den. "Hey, ant," he asked, "you still marching there?" The ant replied, "Of course I am, aren't you? Been working all summer long, nuts and seeds are almost gone, but the storeroom's full to the ceiling now, thank you." The grasshopper and the ants, the grasshopper and the ants. Winter finally came, grasshopper too late. In vain he looked around trying to find food. Winter snow fell hard and covered the fields by far. Piled high, this chilling wind did not help too. Grasshopper grew weak, he could hardly speak. Too skinny and frozen to the knees. He stumbled on the hole where the ants called their home, and begged the ants and queen for help, please. The grasshopper and the ants, the grasshopper and the ants. The grasshopper survived, thanks to the ants so kind. The ants had saved the frozen, starving fool. They nursed him back to health, grew his strength back well. Grasshopper so grateful for the food. Next summer came by, he was glad to be alive. He learned his lesson good from his new mates. Lazy he was no more, he found some food to store. Next winter you know he'll be okay. The grasshopper and the ants, the grasshopper and the ants. 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 The grasshopper and the ants.
And that was The Grasshopper and the Ants. And we are going to wrap up our song feature today with a song called The Lion, the Fox, and the Ass. Tell us about this one.
I have to definitely say that when I say the word ass, I mean a donkey, because an ass is a donkey. So please, people, especially children, don't think I'm talking about a buttocks. I'm talking about a donkey. So,
Clarification in place. Here we go.
thank you, Patrick. So looking up the moral, I think it's Wikipedia who says, the moral of this story is happy is the man who learns from the misfortunes of others. And I really liked it. So I'm like, I'll use that. That's what I'll get my daughters to say. And it's simple as that. It's you're gonna be dodgy and deceptive. What you give life, life usually gives back to you. And yeah, it's so Lion, the Fox, and the Ass. So what happened in this story? The lion, the fox, they team up, and they get meat, and the lion says to the donkey, "Hey, you divide up the meat," and he divides it equally, and the lion gets angry. It shouldn't be that way. He's so he kills the donkey. So, and then he tells the fox, "Hey, fox, you divide the meat." And the fox, having just seen what just transpired, fox decides to give lion the main portion of the meat, and he'll just keep just a little bit for himself, for the fox. And then the lion's very happy. He's like, "Hey, who taught you how to divide so well?" And the fox says, "The donkey told me how to divide."
I
Really,
had to chuckle at that when I was listening to the song.
Yeah, so really, I don't think it's the misfortune. So it's sad that the donkey died, but in a way, it's not a waste, because the fox has learned from this sadness. The fox is, you know, yeah, it's so you've learned from the misfortune. It's as simple as that.
All right. Well, we're gonna play this song, and yeah, everybody go check this one out on YouTube as well. Here it is: "The Lion, the Fox, and the Ass" by Van Sereno.
The lion, the fox, and the ass. The lion, the fox, and the ass. The lion, the fox, and the ass decided to hunt together. Between them all, they caught a lot of food. What will they do to divide it? Who will be the one to share it? The lion stood up and decided the ass should. The ass divided the meat equally. The lion got angry and killed the ass quickly. The lion, the fox, and the ass. The lion, the fox, and the ass. The lion then looked at the fox, told the fox divide the food. Fox wasted no time and gave a huge heap to the lion. The fox only kept a small portion to himself. The lion asked the fox, "Who taught you to divide so well?" The fox replied, "I learned from the ass." The lion, the fox, and the ass. The lion, the fox, and the ass. The lion, the fox, and the ass. The lion, the fox, and the ass.
And that was The Lion, the Fox, and the Ass. The album is called Fables. All right. Let everybody know, where can they stream, download, or purchase Fables, and how can they find and connect with you?
I would please ask our listeners, please check it out on Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon. Those will be whatever platform you like using to listen to music. But obviously, if you want to check out the video clips, then please go to my YouTube channel, which is just Van Sereno. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for having me, Patrick. It's been really fun. As
Always a
usual.
pleasure to have you on. You have a prolific output, and it's
Oh,
all
bless you, bro.
great stuff. And it's
Thank you,
always a
man.
joy having you on the show.
Always fun. Yeah. Right.
All right. Well, take care, and hope to talk to you again soon.
You too, bro. Bless you,
All
bro.
right.
Thanks, man. Bye,
Got
Patrick.
it.